child bite me. Yeah, I know. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. He knows your mom saved him.
I know. The way he was towards me after all that. Like he would always watch. He watches where I'm at, like my every move. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if I'm moving around him, like he wants to be with us.
Back up for a second. Back. Okay. Okay. So, you're gonna bomb. You're gonna lift it. Why don't you go to your shed, Ritz? Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna give you a task, which is, I'm sorry, you need to stay with me. Take me there.
Stand. Stand.
Okay, the idea is to be smaller than Rick, why don't you go to the shed? So, go to the shed, Dodo. Or at least unfortunately, it's too wet to drag, so we're gonna have to play in the grass a little bit today. But so what I'm gonna have you do is I have you explain to him, and I'll show you he can do it. So I'm gonna let you explain it to him. You're gonna keep your feet right here, and you're gonna tell him to back between those cones and do figure eight around those cones, and you can't. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you all of it, but I'm just going to see what you can do and how you can communicate with him. And then we'll teach him everything he needs to know to do it. So one thing I want to take away right now is your gas. So what you're doing, imagine you're on your quad and you're pushing the throttle. Okay, every time you're throttling him, and you really only want him to take a step at a time. So instead of clucking or making noise to try to get him to move, we're just going to ask him to move his feet and not tell him to go forward. Okay, and then I don't use any noise when I ask him to go backwards. And like I explained to your mom, the reason for that is when you have a horse that has trouble getting in and out of a trailer, if clucking means go forward and it means backward, and your horse does not want to be in the trailer and you cluck, your horse says, oh, okay, cool, I'm coming out, right? But if cluck only means go forward, he's not going to come out to you clucking. Okay. Good. Make sure you give him enough line to do it. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, I'm not going to let both of you struggle for long. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tell you how you can have a little communication while getting further and further away from him. So if you take this rope and just create some energy in front of him, it's kind of the same as you being in front of him. So let's see if we can't get him to understand. We want him to back up. Back. 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 Now by stopping, I told him he got the right answer. So he should lick and chew to let us know that something just made sense to him. Sometimes we have to wait for them to tell us that. He's distracted by other things. So now you can add the two. So I always start very lightly and say, hey, remember how loud that got? Remember what made it stop? Me backing up made it stop. Remember how loud it got? What made it stop? Me backing up made it stop. Good, sorry. So now, what we can do, instead of getting that loud on his face, what we can say is, because he did understand the chest, is we can say, now watch his chest. When you see his chest flex, you know the message got to where it needs to get to. See, its chest hasn't flexed yet? Bomber's going to bother us at first, too. So I'm going to give him a break for a second and let him think about what we just did. All kinds of weird noises over here, huh? So now I'm going to have you invite him back to you. And how you're going to do that, okay, so when you want him to back up, it's kind of like you want your brother out of your room. You know, he just started to come into your door and you're like, get out. Okay, you want him to feel like he's really going to like leap off the bed if he doesn't get out, right? So that's the kind of thing you want to give him. And then if you want him to come back to you, now it's like you're calling a puppy. It's a very friendly, he's going to lean forward. The bomber's just driving them crazy. And then you're going to just invite him to you. And then what you're going to do is on the line, you're going to do this with an open hand. And then if he doesn't come, you're going to just start combing the rope. As soon as he starts to come, you're going to go back to an open hand. When you stand up, he should know that that's far enough, and then you're just going to let him know. Now, the cool thing is, horses usually tell us their price. So, like, if he has a certain spot that he really likes, then that's going to be his price. And that's how you can work with him. You can say, aha, so now I know what you'll work for. If I scratch you right here and you love it, then I know you'll work for that. But the trick is you never satisfy the itch. So you never scratch it until he's done. Until, like, it doesn't bother it, until he doesn't like it anymore. Because then you have nothing. You know, you have to be able to keep him desiring that. Okay, go ahead and you're going to gently wiggle the rope. Again, you want all the line. You want to be able to, the more line you have, the more energy you can send in the line. If it's tight, okay, you can't do it as easily. But when it's loose, you can send a lot of energy. You can kind of take it up. Okay, so I'm going to have you start real light, and then gradually take it up. And then as it starts to kind of shake on his face, instead of letting it really rub on his face, we're going to then, like you take a towel and you snap the towel. You're going to do that right in the center of his chest. You're not going to get him in his face. You're not going to get him up here. You're not going to get him in his face. You really want to try to make sure that you perfect your aim to the center of his chest. So that's, okay, I'm just going to say, so volume, okay, would you say that was a 1 on the volume knob? Where would you say that's at? Okay, so we want to start at a 1. So we want to give him the best deal. Because eventually you hope to take away the rope. So if you rely on the rope making noise before he can hear you, then you're not going to ever get to a liberty position with him. But if you make it to where he barely feels anything and then you start to take the volume up, then you have a chance of actually turning it into a liberty game with him. do like counts of 3. So 1, 2, 3 at that phase, 1, 2, 3 a little bit louder, 1, 2, 3 a little bit louder. As soon as you take the step backwards, you're going to stop. Now that was just about flies, so that doesn't count. As soon as you take a step backwards, you'll stop. So now as it starts to rub on his face, go ahead and give him a flick in the chest to let him know, hey, there's more to this. And try to, if you can, try to wiggle it up at the same time. Yep, there you go. And stop. Good. Now what's cool about these ropes is that they have a lot of weight to them. So as soon as you stop, they go dead. Where like your regular lead rope is so light, it's going to kind of flop in the wind. This tells him immediately he got the right answer. Okay. Go ahead and tell him to take one more step back. Now he's going to take 3 steps. Ooh, good. Yep, yep. Yep. Take up the phases. Yep. Keep going. Yep. Good. Good. Good boy. Now go over to him and pet him and let him know that he really did a good job. And if you know a special spot that he likes to be pet, then that's definitely where you're going to want to go anytime he really makes you happy.
Probably his scar.
Oh, you don't believe that? That's easy. Okay. Now, before you leave, I want to tell you something. Anytime that you back up from a horse or you pull your hip away from the horse, they're likely to come with you because you're drawing them. So if you back away from him, he's likely to come with you. Or if you try to leave like this, he's likely to come with you. So you're better off either turning your back and walking away, which he still is likely to come with you. Or turn around and back up, but also have like a warning, like let him know, oh, but you're not coming with me, okay? So it's all about having an actual conversation with him, so he's never left to try to figure out what the heck you want. Yep, and don't make him wrong for being what he thought was the right answer, because always assume that he just got the wrong answer and that he's not ever doing anything bad. Okay, go ahead and ask him to back up. Good boy. Go ahead and ask him to back up. I always catch myself and say this.
Yeah.
Yep, take it up. So we don't want to spend too much time just rolling him out. Yep. Yep. Step in there and give him a little flip with it and try to keep the whip. Yep. Try to keep it wiggling at the same time so that he understood it was. There you go. There you go. Good. And now go pause. Pause. Sorry. Okay. So now what we're gonna do, cones are gonna be something that we're gonna have to. We'll get to them, but trust me, we'll get to them. So now we need to explain. We want to cross his front foot over the front of his right front foot over the front of the left front foot, or behind, and how he's sitting. If he's his knees, he's likely to cross front. If he's sitting kind of rock back, which he is right now, chances are he'll cross behind. So what we're gonna do, we don't want him to leave. So we discussed kind of the go cue, right? So that would mean move your feet in a forward motion. So we don't want him to leave. So we're not going to use that. But we are going to do is we're going to give him a sense of direction. So horses don't see things. If I'm just going to take the rope from you for a second. So show me where you would point if you wanted him to go that way. How would you point that way? Would you do it with that hand? Okay. Okay, so we would normally think if we want the horse to go that way, we would point like that, right? Back, 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 back. Okay, but horses don't see it that way. So if we point that way, watch where that makes him go. Doesn't make him leave, does it? Makes him come right to me. Okay, so back, good boy, back, back, back. Okay, so so that he's nervous now because he didn't understand why he got kind of told to come and then leave. Good. So like that was worrying his feet, right? He wasn't being bad. He was like, oh, I don't know what to do with my feet. So that was complete worry. So I call that fire in their feet. We put it out. He's fine. He's a little worried. You know, his ears are kind of telling us, okay, I feel a little bit like a sitting duck out here, right? When we tell a horse to go left or right, we actually want to point like to that light pole or to that tree, okay? And the reason we want to do that is is we want to tell his nose. Your nose needs to point that way in order for you to go out and around that way. So I'm going to tell his nose to go to that light pole. Now I'm not even pulling on him, right? I'm going to stand directly in front of him so I can help him. And then I'm going to put my energy at his nose. And as soon as he tips his nose in the correct direction, and get his head kind of going straight. As soon as he tips his nose in the right direction, I'm going to leave him alone. Now I just told him that was the right answer. He's like, well, what is it? I don't know. Because basically you want to give him the impression that you're pointing over his shoulder. Like, what's that? You want him to go, I don't know what. Okay? So I'm going to tell him to put his nose over there again. More. I want your nose. Nope, don't move your feet. Don't move your feet. Listen to me. Listen to me. Don't move your feet. Watch. Watch. Pay attention. It's okay if he leaves because he didn't know the difference. I'm not going to make him wrong for leaving, but I am going to tell him I need you to go back to where you were. And now you're going to back up to where you were. A little bit more. Good. So now I am going to ask him to cross his feet over. So after, I didn't say leave. So now I am going to say, okay, yes, and then I want you to cross your feet. Now the trick is to not give him a go cue, but I'm going to raise my hand as support to say, look, there's a little bit more I need you to do besides just look that way. So now I do have to tell him, put your nose back over that way. Put your nose back over that way. Nope, not that way. Nope, not that way. This way. Yep. You're there, I see you. There. Good. 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 Okay, you're alright. You're alright. So go back over here. Go back over here. Go back over here. Good. You're okay. You're okay. Nope. Don't go on top of me. Don't go on top of me. Back. Get off me. Get off me. I don't want you on top of me. Good. Wait. Wait, you're okay. I know it's wet. So I'm going to try to explain to him that there's no gas. Yep. You're right. Good. Good. Nope. I'm going to let him know that all that wasn't necessary. That we're only looking for kind of a standstill movement. All right. Now I'm slowing down my gas because there we go. He's starting to say something now. So I'm going to slow down my gas and just keep it kind of a lob here to say, just cross that foot. Good. Nope. So, you got it. Good. Yep. Don't leave. Nope. He just has to figure out. Good. Wait. I know, right? See how his chest keeps flexing? He doesn't know what he's supposed to do, but the message of something is down there in his chest. So we don't push him too hard because then he's going to start to move. And he's going to tell his shoulder it has to do a little something. The shoulder has to do something. Yep, there you go. Yep. There you go. You're right. Okay, good. Good. There you go. So you need to just jump up for a second. Oh, we got a bomber too. Yep. Good. So I had to take the gas off because he was getting ready to leave again. So I jumped right in to say, that's it, okay? I'm going to have him to go the other way. I just needed him to understand that it wasn't about going anywhere, because when they feel like they need to go somewhere, it's because they're nervous. They don't understand, and they figure the only thing people really want us to do is move our feet. So what you're going to do is you're going to point at that tree, and you're basically going to show him the rope. And the way I do it is I show it to him as if I have a gun on my side. And I'm like, I got this, if I got to use it, right? So by putting my hand out here, it's showing him my gun, saying, I've got this if I have to use it, but I'm not going to do anything with it. I'm only going to show it to him. So I'm first going to point there, go ahead and back up. So in a case like that where he made a mistake, like, so then you can kind of tell him with a higher volume. You can say, hey, no, you made a mistake. Without making him too wrong, you're just going to say, no, we need you to back there in a little bit of a faster. Good. So now you got it easy. Okay, so you're going to go ahead and point at that tree with this hand, with your left hand, and your right hand is going to stay with the end of the rope. Yep, you have it right. Yep. Back and back up. Good. Yep. And make sure that rope can go dead when he's done what you want. Okay, go ahead and point at that tree with your left hand and that's attached. So any time you want to tell something to his nose, it's called the lead, like you want to use the leading hand, whatever hand's attached to his nose. So your leading hand is your left hand. Yep. So your left hand's going to tell him to go towards that tree. You're going to there you go. I was going to say, you want to point more. There you go. And then you're going to put your other hand out to suggest that his shoulder and his nose point that way. And we're going to try to turn off all of that energy as soon as he just takes a step in that direction. We're going to try to make sure he doesn't misunderstand it as a go. Yeah. Put a little energy on his shoulder, but not too much. So you can kind of like swing it in a lobbing way towards his shoulders. Yep, there you go. Don't forget to keep pointing over at the tree. Yep. You're going to get it. Okay, let's see. Something to do with going that way. Kind of like hot or colder game. They bite hard too. I know, right? Yep, so stop that. So you throw energy in the line and say, so anytime you create energy in front of him, it's causing him to back up or slow down or something. So as soon as he starts to come towards you, you're going to create energy in front of him with the rope. Instead of grabbing him and doing that, you're going to just create energy in front of him. Yep. Good. Yep. Keep going until he makes that step. He was gonna get a little distracted by the horse behind me. Yep. Good. Okay. So go back to what you were doing. Yep. He's thinking about it. And if he leaves, don't make him wrong, because he's just trying to figure out what you want. Yep. There you go. Good boy. Yeah, you're right. So because he's used to kind of being kissed at or clucked at, he's just automatically thinks his feet should move. So it's going to be a little bit harder to teach him about single foot movements at first. Eventually you'll be able to as you start to eliminate how often you cluck at him. So often we cluck at him to come to us, to go away from us, to come get food, we cluck at him for everything. It's really not fair. If you think about it, like, they're just supposed to guess what it means this time? Yep. Good. Okay, so go ahead and change hands with your rope. And you're going to tell him to follow his idea. He has the idea already with his nose. Tell him to follow that idea. Yep. 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 He's thinking about it. He's like, I think it's something. So give him a little bump now because he's making the, yep. So you would want to put energy on the line and stuff. Yeah, you'll get really good with both hands. Good. Good. And then go back to what you were telling him. Yep. Yep. And just think about it. Just make sure that that hand can open up enough when he does leave that you allow him to leave. So you allow that line to go through your hand. Don't hold it tight. Yep. Because otherwise you're saying go, don't go. And you do want him to not up, back him up, back him up, back him up. So did you see him coming forward before he actually took that first step? Do you want to interrupt the thought? That's the thought. So you want to make sure next time it looks like he's like there. When it looks like he's coming forward, try to interrupt him before he actually does it. So that way we can, instead of punishing him, we can just say, no, that's not what I meant. Good, good, good. Interrupt it, interrupt it. Good. Good. So go ahead and point. Yep. Believe it or not, by the end of the session, he'll be yawning. You know why? Not because he's bored, but because you're actually having a conversation with him and you're blowing his mind. Because right now, he's totally trying to figure out what the heck you want. He's like, well, usually moving my feet's the right answer, and if it's not the right answer, I don't get in much trouble for it. So it's like, but I clearly understand that's not what you want. I'm trying to figure out what the heck you want. Good, good. Yep. Yep, make sure you allow that drift. Yep. Because when he puts his head down, sometimes he's trying to tell you, maybe I'm supposed to go that way. So kind of like pretend like you're in his head, like you're his voice. Like, does she want me to go over there? I don't really know. Maybe I'm supposed to. I don't know. Is that what you want? Oh. So you would want to interrupt that step and that step and that step. So you want to interrupt all of that before it happens. And now you have to punish him. As opposed to have just said, no, that's not what I mean. Oh boy. So try to get your timing on interrupting that. So that's, I know there's a lot to think about. It doesn't seem, it seems like we're barely doing anything. I know you've got a lot going on right now. I gotta point this way, I gotta do this, I gotta stop that, I gotta, not punish him, so it's a lot to keep in mind, so that we want to interrupt that. Instead of, see how you're like, I can't stop him, because you're so used to pulling, right? So we want to kind of convince him that our relationship from now on has nothing to do with micromanaging. I'm not going to pull you this way. I'm not going to pull you this way. I'm not going to make it. I'm just going to talk to you, okay? Because see how he kind of was like, wow, you're kind of an ass, right? we don't want him to think that way about us, right? I mean, the only reason it was more obvious because he doesn't know me. But it's how he feels about everything. Anytime somebody does that. I know, right? Yeah, wait, come back. Good. Good. Now. Yeah. Yeah, he's got the general idea. He keeps offering. It has something to do with over there. Good. And then offer it again. So he's convinced it has something to do with over there. So that's good. You got the message there, and now we just got to get one foot. And he's okay. He's got to cross and then straighten himself up. So he's got to cross his feet and straighten himself up. So it's kind of like 2 steps. If he takes more than that, we're not going to make him wrong as long as they're going that way. And instead of forward. Good. Yep. Hey, you got that part down. Okay, what is it over there? I just don't see what she keeps telling me to look at. On with that. So wiggle and say, no, that's certainly not that way. Yeah. Did you get it? Ah, darn. That's such a victory when you get them, right? Alright, we'll get it again. Ah, good timing. And you read that right. It was, unfortunately he really was only diving down for a scratch, but you read the desire to go forward right. So that was perfect timing, and that would have interrupted a forward step for sure. Yep. So did you see how you said back up, don't back up? Okay. We want to try to not contradict ourselves so we can help him know the right answer. Yeah? Good. You can get back in front of him. He's getting turned. So it's hard to get him straight. So you can just keep getting straight. So now you don't want to move the tree. So where that tree was when he this way is now probably like the gazebo maybe, or at least between the pole and the gazebo. So you want to keep finding your V spots over his, like you want him to look over his shoulder, because if you point this way, he's gonna come to you. Yep. Yep. It's not magic that he keeps looking that way. He's understanding that part. And putting it down is him saying something. There we go. You almost want to reward that. So how? Yep. You're telling me you did a good job. So it was kind of forward, but I would have wanted to reward that first step. Let's go ahead and come back over here. All kinds of stuff, huh? All kinds of stuff to look at. Okay. So, we still don't have him fully understanding left or right, but I'm going to show him just real quickly what the whole idea is, and then we'll see if we can't have you do it, right? So we'll borrow him for a second. So, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. No. No.
I think he's very low.
No. You got it. There you go. There you go. Wait. Yep. Wait. Let me explain something to you. You gotta go this way. Go this way. Hey. Yep. This way. There you go. See? Not be in a hurry. Hey, listen. Take it down a notch. You got this. Take it down a notch. There you go. Yeah, see? There you go. Yes. Good. There. Now listen. Take it down a notch. Listen. Watch me. Hey. Jiggle. Hey. There you go. Nope. Now listen, listen. Don't run me over. Don't. No, you're assuming. You're assuming. You're assuming. Don't run me over. Hey, hey. You're assuming stuff. Listen. Yes. Now follow that. Follow that. Yes. Yes. There you go. Good. Good. So you got this part down. Now listen. 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 No, no. Stop. Nope, 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 nope. There you go. Listen. That's all. That's all. That's all. That's all. Doesn't mean get excited to see all of a sudden. Listen. She knows that way. Oh, you don't have to go. 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 Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't get this. Don't put your neck up on me like that. Yep. Okay. Nope. Nope. Don't say go anywhere. Yep. There you go. Good job. Okay. Now, wait. I didn't tell you to go. I didn't tell you to go. I didn't tell you to go. Yes. Yes. Now, follow your nose that way. Nope. 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 Your nose that way. Nope. 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 Yep. Nope. 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 Yep. Yep. Good. 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 Follow your nose. Good. Okay. Okay. You're okay. You don't have to be so scared. You're okay. It's gonna be easy when you understand. Good. Good. Now listen. 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 If I think it's coming on top of me. Listen. Yep. Yep. Well, how about that? Good job. Good job. So, I'm going to have you do this. Now, you have to be careful because he's in a pre-programmed panic mode, okay? So that's why he got to where he was just in a panic. He makes a lot of assumptions. So you have to be able to stop him and say, hey, like I sat there and literally it looked like I was just staring at him, but we were having a conversation of turn it down a notch so I can get in there and explain to you, I don't need you to run. And he didn't want to give me that. It's like kind of like when you walk up to somebody's car and they only roll their window down. He does, I see this. They only roll their window down a little bit, what, right? So that's all he's offering. He's offering that little crack in the window. He's not. So you have to make sure that you're ready to see the window. Fine. So what this is right here, what he's doing right now is he's soaking on that. That was hard for him. Really hard for him to believe that I didn't really want all that animation. I didn't need you to be a kite at the end of my line. Okay, so you're gonna back him through. Now what we're gonna do, he's this way, okay? I'm going to have you only do this direction until you're comfortable communicating to him. Back up, go out and around that cone, come back to me, and stop. Because that way, he's going to be a lot harder, and he's going to try to run you over. Okay? Because he's pretty damn sure he knows what you want, and it's not right, but he's pretty damn sure. Okay? And as long as he's that sure, he's going to try to hurt you, not meaning to, but he's going to hurt you because he thinks he's right. Okay, so you're going to back him through those cones. Yep, and you're going to make sure that it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, louder, louder, 1, 2, 3, louder, 1, 2, 3, louder. So this way he's not just standing there tuning you out and keeps clicking. And then I have the worst luck with the microphones. I hear it going. Yep, so flip him in the chest. Yep, we're not going to let him spend too much time. Yep. There you go, there you go. And then you want to go as quiet as you can if he's responding, you know what I mean? So you want to go from, say, you had to get up to a 5. And then if he's backing up, but you still need him to go further, you want to say, yes, you're right, but you want to take it all the way down to a 1, so that way you don't stop telling him to back up, but you're telling him to back up in a very quiet way. So, like, if you have to get really loud, but he's backing up and you still need, and then you get real quiet. As soon as he starts, stopping again, then you get loud again. But you don't ever want to stop until you're done telling him where to go. But you want to tell him as quietly as you can. Hi, buddy. So he definitely needs to be further back, because otherwise you're going to send him right onto the cone. Do you have a bomber? Came back on his butt. So it's because it's a bomber. It's because it's a bomber. Yeah. I don't know if he's the type to buck, so I don't want to get behind him.
No, soft home, I think.
Did you get it? Did you get it? Yeah. I'll grind him.
We killed 2 right here.
Did you?
Yeah.
You're welcome. She was good catch, huh?
I had to jump up there. That's not my jump.
Okay. So you can lead him to the front of the cones and then back him through the cones. Now, the trick is, if you leave his front feet pretty close to the cones and then you tell him to go that way, he's likely to just go that. So you need to make sure that he's that far enough that when you tell him to leave, he goes that way. Yeah, you can bring him closer to the cones and then back him up. I mean, asking him to back up from that far away is a lot for a horse that just learned it. Yeah. Yeah, and then he's back up from there. Yeah, he's a little bit of a brute, and so, when he uses his neck. So I imagine if he really was wanting something, he'd use his chest, kind of go up and over you and go like this. But he definitely uses his neck when he thinks he's right. He was convinced he was right, and he came at me with his neck. Yep. So don't go through the phase a little bit faster, so that way he doesn't spend a lot of time tuning you out. Yep. And then if he starts to go, then you're just going to make it quiet without stopping.